Good afternoon, this is Colton with Build Brothers Roofing and Solar, doing a digital roof inspection here for a realtor out in Point Loma. First thing we like to do is start under the eaves of the home here. We can see the actual eave right here coming out. You can see the actual drip edge right there coming over. We can see the fascia board behind it, and then the actual boxed in eave right there with the intake ventilation for the attic. Interesting on this roof, there's a drip edge on basically this outward facing front section of the home, but actually on these hip fascia boards there is actually no drip edge, metal flashing that comes off the edge right there. Drip edge has been implicated for building code within the last 20-25 years. Let's see how this roof is looking. First thing we notice is this is an architectural asphalt shingle roof. Very common in this area, very common roofing material. No drip edge right here. We can see this fascia board is very old. It's got some sun damage, weather damage over the years. We can only see that there's actually one layer of shingles on here. We always want to check if there's more than one layer. More than one layer is indicative that there is an overlay. So sometimes to spruce up a roof, they'll just put a new layer of shingles on the top instead of actually stripping it down to the decking and replacing any damaged wood and redoing the underlayment. Condition of the shingles. So we have the north facing side right here, always in better condition on homes just because they receive less sun, less weather, less direct sun that kind of strips the granules off the shingles. You'll see on the southern facing side that you can kind of see a shine shining through. That's the actual fiberglass, really indicative right here. You can actually see it shining around this whirlybird right here. All that is basically fiberglass showing through, kind of showing the age of the shingle. As it gets older, that fiberglass will start to, or the granules will start to strip off, showing that fiberglass, which is basically the backbone of that shingle. Whirlybirds here for exhaust ventilation. These basically keep the attic nice and dry and cool. We can see a little bit of mastic put around the flashing here. That's typical as a maintenance precaution, just to make sure that it's staying waterproof. Some indications of shingles stripping off. We can see one right here. Additionally, another section, we can see some shingles leaving her right here as well. This just happens with normal wear and tear. Is this a point where a leak could happen? Not necessarily, because there's another layer underneath. But it just shows that, maybe wet weather or wind or something like that pulled that shingle off. We can see a little bit more granule loss on the southern facing side with this sun-run solar system. These panels on this side of the house are going to produce better. That's why there's more of them over here. Any penetrations, we always want to check around those. Mastic is typically what they put around as a maintenance, but it's every 2 to 3 years it probably needs to be redone, just because it starts to crack and actually can be a point of leak penetration. Solar tubes are always something that we want to check as well. These things tend to fail a lot. So we can see there was a mastic applied around it. Now you can see as it gets older, it starts to crack and stuff like that. So definitely some maintenance that needs to be done is coming up here and redoing that every couple years. Inspected these whirlybirds. All of them seem to be operating well. As far as the roof condition, it's in relatively good shape. Nothing indicates that it needs to be replaced immediately. Just normal maintenance. Once these granules, starts showing through and it becomes really shiny, it's definitely time to get a new roof. We can see on the north facing side that doesn't get as much sun. There's a little bit of buildup of just some moss and other debris. It's more aesthetics, but nothing that indicates that this roof is going to be leaking anytime soon. And we can see some more of it right here. And this side just doesn't get as much sun, and so when water gets trapped on this side, sometimes some growth can happen. But yes, besides some wood damage on the fascias, on the hips right here, and just normal wear and tear on the shingles themselves, this roof still has some life left in it. An immediate re-roof is not recommended unless we have a bunch of active leaks. Normal maintenance on these sewer or penetrations is definitely something we recommend. Mastic doesn't last forever, and solar tubes are definitely areas where we see a lot of leaks happen. But we'll go ahead and send this to the realtor, show it to the homeowner, and we'll go ahead and submit this inspection report. Thank you.